Woo. So what are we doing? What are we doing? Well, we're preparing for the next event. And what's that next event going to be? Well, I don't know. I don't know what the next event's going to be. That's why I'm preparing for it. You know, a lot of you have lived through a lot of events. Some of you have lived through events like you've been raped before and you lived through it. You got pregnant at an early age and you lived through it. You raised that child. You were in a car wreck and you lived through it. You went to war and you lived through it. You had a bad divorce, you lived through it. That crow, he's lived through a lot of stuff. So, what I'm trying to say is prepare yourself for the next event, whatever that is. You have to prepare yourself mentally. You got to have that mindset right. You got to decide, you got to dedicate, you got to act. You got to be ready and willing to live through it, not give up. A lot of people give up, you know. There's 22 veterans a day give up. Don't be one of those veterans to give up. A lot of people give up on their family. They give up on their siblings. They give up on their mom and dad. They give up on everybody. And they don't make it through that next event. So what I'm trying to encourage you to do today is train hard, whatever that means to you. Whether it means get on a good diet and lose that 100 pounds or 50 pounds or 20 pounds. If you're able to get out and walk and get in shape, then get in shape. If you're not able to do that, then do what you're able to do. If you're able to lift this arm, then lift this arm with weights and get ready with that. If you're able to train with weapons, then train with weapons, because you don't know what your event's going to be. You know, if you were years ago, if you'd been training with weapons as a child, of course, nobody does, you might could have prevented the bad things that happened to you. Maybe you were in a fight, somebody beat you down. Maybe a gang jumped on you and beat you up. If you'd been training before, maybe you could have avoided that. And some things you just can't avoid. You just have to live through. Car wrecks, you just have to live through them. But there are things you can do to mitigate that wreck if it's not fatal. You can have a tourniquet in your vehicle. You can have a fire extinguisher in your vehicle. You can get trained on how to do CPR, how to put on a tourniquet, how to do all these things. It's called training for the next event. You don't sit around and worry about events. You just do a lot of basic training. First thing you do is you get your mind right. And you tell yourself, no matter what comes next, I'm going to make it, and I'm going to learn from it. And then the second thing you do is you get your body ready. If your body's not able to get ready, you get it ready to the point it is able. And you tell yourself, I'm going to get my body so it's hard to kill my body. It's hard to defeat my body. It's hard for a sickness to take over and infect me. My body is used to being torn down and repaired. The third thing you do is you start getting your skill sets together. You look at yourself and say, what skill sets do I have? You evaluate those. How can I improve those skill sets? And then what skill sets do I need? And the basic skill sets in life are basically water, food, shelter, security, and medical skills. You start with those. Then you add things like carpenter skills and electrical skills and plumbing skills and how to operate your vehicle properly, changing tires, all that kind of stuff. There's a whole list of skill sets for the warrior. And then most of those skill sets transfer over to being a great civilian too. So you got your mind, got your body, got your skill set. And the most important one is you get yourself right with God. Because none of this is going to last forever anyways. And when you're down in the foxhole and the bombs of life are dropping on your head, then the one thing you're going to do is pray. You're going to pray. You're going to pray to your maker, just like that person always does when they're in trouble, they call for their mama. Or you're going to pray for your maker. So that's the basics of preparing for the next event. And therefore, you don't have to worry about it. You don't have to plan. You don't have to say, well, what's the event going to be? Is it going to be a famine? Is it going to be a war? Is it going to be a government takeover? What's it going to be? Who gives a shit what it's going to be? If you have your mind right, your body right, your skill sets, your faith, it don't matter what it is. You're going to drive through it. Go out and make yourself, your family, and your fellow warrior, and your friends better.